The Toulouse TonTons, one of Europe's most successful teams, are bringing their unique brand of paintball to the PSP for the 2013 season. They've been turning heads for years on the European scene and are now prepared to make a run at the best teams in the world. The TonTons have been around for over 10 years, but only recently have they built themselves into the dynamic powerhouse that we will see this season. Axel Godin is by far their best player, as he proved himself very capable as the first attacker on the Snake side while playing for Moscow Red Legion in his rookie season last year. But they also picked up former pro players Heyman Chapman and Steven Lasher, who have been tearing it up for T1 Top Gun Union. The TonTons are known for their aggressive coordinated attacks. 2013 will be a big test for the best team ever to come out of France. Taking third at the 2012 World Cup, San Antonio X Factor lived up to their hype, re-energizing their squad and getting better as the year went on. They're looking more and more like a top team again. Paul Richards, a championship caliber coach, formerly a Tampa Bay Damage, has been brought in. X Factor's core of veterans is playing better than they ever have, with Grayson Goff leading the team on the stat board, Todd Morrow winning close points, and Colt Roberts dominating the D side. Recent pickup Billy Bernaccia played his heart out at the World Cup and really helped the team after a year-long struggle to find his form. Bernaccia is back for 2013, and he needs to play well in the Snake because they lost longtime X Factor vet Michael Kovar to Moscow Red Legion. Bernaccia is backed up by Archie Montemayor, one of the best players in the game. They also picked up Scott Kemp, a longtime Ironman who's hungry to help the team win. If all goes well this year, X Factor could be in the hunt for their first title.
I am here on the sidelines where X Factor and TonTons are getting ready to battle it out. Scott, how are you guys feeling going into this?
Honestly, we're just anxious to get it over with. We just need to, we've been here before in Dallas, and we need to just pull this win out. Mainly stay out the box, and I think we'll be good.
What are you expecting the TonTons to come out here with today?
I think they're going to play aggressive. We've been watching a lot of their matches. The last match they played, they didn't really take the Snake too much, but I think they're going to run the Snake a lot on us. Honestly, we just got to match them, play our game, and if we can stay out the box, we'll win this.
All right, we have a minute left on the clock. We'll see who can take the first point.
Yeah, that's true, though. Very true. If X Factor can stay out of the box, they have a real good chance of winning this game. Don't want to take anything away from the TonTons. I really think that they could beat X Factor, but they need everyone to play together.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams need to stay out of the box first and foremost. Let's just say again that both these teams need to stay out of the box, and both these teams need to stay out of the box.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, that this happened yesterday to them. Now they're in a position like they are. However, I think that they both have something to prove right now, not just to us, but to themselves. And I think they're going to come out and play a little harder than they did yesterday, a little cleaner.
Well, I'd like to see what both these teams are really capable of on this field, because both these teams are really good. They're both very athletic, great gun battlers, both all smart players on both these teams. And I want to see what it's like when these guys are grinding out 5-on-5, point after point.
Well, here we go. Start of the first point, just 3 seconds away. On your screen right now is San Antonio X Factor. And on the right-hand side, the TonTons. And I believe the X Factor did keep 5 alive. Good crossfield spread for them. No one in the Snake yet for either team. First body to drop. It's coming off the TonTons. And it's going to be number 21 for them. I believe that's Samuelson.
But on this far side of the field, you have X Factor on their heels right now because Axel Godin on the top side of your screen, getting all the way to the 50 Dorito.
Yeah, Axel Godin doing to Colt Roberts what Colt Roberts was doing to teams to begin all the other games, just pushing the envelope, getting all the way up there as fast as he could. Billy Bernaccia now is going to come into the 50 Snake, and he's going to have a shot on Axel if he can get up, but TonTons over there on the Dorito side are going to bury Billy in that Snake 3, not let him pop up and work across the field.
Yeah, and Axel's going to have to live by his gun over here as far if Billy gets any farther up, and he does. So Axel's going to have to just continue to shoot and roll his gun towards Billy Bernaccia in the Snake. You're looking at the back line right now for X Factor, trying to help out. And look at Bernaccia, just got stuck by Colombo. Colombo, man, Colombo's playing. If I were to give an MVP for the TonTons for this event, it would have to be Colombo.
Yeah, I think he made that move by shooting Ninos, who was protecting Bernaccia, and then cut through the inside and then jumped straight over the top and bunkered Billy.
But in that whole Snake thing that went down over here, losing Axel Goldin on the 50 Dorito over there on the far side of the field. So now TonTons on their heels just a little bit, because after that happened, taking the 50s Dorito is Colt Roberts on the far side of the field now again, Maddie.
Well, only one player for both teams on this snake side right now. And then on your screen, you can see the center and also that Dorito side of the field with Colt Roberts in that 50-yard line. And I think that's, yeah, that's Chambon Franck. Franck's really got to be careful, man. He's just way out in the open over here.
You know, there's a dead spot that he's trying to hide from Colt Roberts in the 50 Dorito over there and doing a really good job about it, but still, nonetheless, out in the middle of nowhere, Todd.
We have yet to see that, man.
Yeah.
That particular, I mean, basically the bunkers are just there to put between you and paintballs, so as long as you are covered, you don't have to be right behind a bunker.
Yeah, this is where you see the creativity, you know, of the intelligent players in this league, using all the bunkers around them to get better shots and protect themselves. Moving up the Dorito side, here come the TonTons, Vulu. Oh, but Colt Roberts is gonna see that and attack it right away. And then Franck is gonna walk out as Colt Roberts cuts down the angle, so.
Great burst speed right there. Colt Roberts is one of those players that gets on his heels and just takes off, and before you knew it, he's down your side of the field.
Yeah, this game is brought to you by Avid Extreme Sports at avidextremesports.com. They have 2 stores and also a field. They also have an affiliate league with the PSP, so if you're in the North Texas or Oklahoma area, definitely want to support paintball in that arena, and that's what Ryan Gray, the owner of Avid Extreme Sports, does. So let's check out 2 key players for these 2 teams, and that was Colt Roberts coming down the Dorito side for San Antonio X Factor, and then also Franck for the TonTons, who was trying to hide out there in the open a little bit.
Yeah, but you know, those 2 players have been playing pretty well. You know, their win-loss record doesn't really show it, but
look at those starts. I mean, obviously their team has a lot of confidence, and rightly so. And with the TonTons, so far this year, they've basically been running with about 5 or 6 players. They brought a little bit more depth to Chicago, as a lot of times the weather plays a factor here. Either it's raining or it's 100 degrees. But this morning we were graced with some very nice paintball weather here.
Yeah, you know, it's Chicago is known for being hot and humid, and we just, you know, thank God, have not really seen much of that this weekend up here in the booth, actually. But, you know, the field is it's amazing.
Yeah, we got a nice breeze coming in today, too. You know, it was really overcast yesterday. You know, a little humid, but, you know, not overly humid like some Chicago Opens we've been to in the past. So, you know, it's nice when we get blessed with some good paintball weather. That storm, you know, was a little scary on Friday, but since then, you know, it's been pretty nice. Yeah, we've been actually pretty lucky this year. Dallas was perfect. MAO was nice. And now here we come out Chicago Open. You know, aside from that little storm, it's been pretty good out here.
So about to start this next point. The score is 1-0 in favor of San Antonio X Factor. Colt Roberts, Dixon Yang, Archie Montemayor, Billy Bernacci, and Todd Morrow taking the field for them. On the flip side, the TonTons. Ooh, TonTons get a shot on Billy Bernaccia. And Axel drops off early as well. 3 players alive on the snake side for the TonTons, and just 1 over on that Dorito side.
You know, and we usually call Axel Godin's number a lot, but unfortunately this tournament, he's just not been putting anything together. He's been getting up the field really, really well, but not taking advantage and capitalizing on those big moves.
Saw him play the Dorito side in Dallas. He played the snake in MAO and then jumped back over to the Dorito side here, and Tony Von Ron is going to throw a major penalty on the TonTons on number 21, P-Zone. So P-Zone going to head over to that box. Vulu gets shot, he comes off, and it's going to be just Colombo over here with Franck in the snake. So Colombo and Franck, yeah, those 2 have been over here by themselves a lot for the TonTons, trying to burn off penalties. Only 2 buys got left. P-Zone got a minute and a half on his major.
And P-Zone, this is his first time really getting playing time here in the PSP for the TonTons, and getting a major penalty there in that point. So it's left to Colombo and Franck to try to get something done and stay in this matchup with 15:41 to go, and it looks like San Antonio X Factor most likely going to be scoring their 2nd point here.
Yeah, and there goes Colombo, and Franck gonna wear it in the back from Todd Morrow.
You
So
know,
there goes Todd Morrow, gonna hang that flag, give himself a check real quick.
and we talked about not getting penalties. Unfortunately, the TonTons Flingueurs grabbing a major penalty signified by a red flag, and what that means is they're going to spend 2 minutes in the box. Losing or winning the point, you are still going to serve out the whole time. And we come back after these messages, we'll talk more about the penalties.
So 2-0 is the score, 15 minutes left, a little over 15 minutes, and these two teams are fighting for relevance here in the Champions Division, fighting to stay up with the top 10 teams in the sport. The loser of this match will get relegated down to the Challengers Division and be forced to fight it out at the West Coast Open starting August 18th. Make sure you sign up your team early because every event has sold out so far this year, and we expect the West Coast Open to be the same story as the PSP makes its return to Los Angeles, and it looks like a timeout is going to be called. Yeah, I think a timeout. That's probably pretty smart, actually, for the TonTons to slow the momentum of San Antonio X Factor.
Yeah, you know what, we do have this timeout right here, Maddie. You know, we talked about penalties and how not to get them and why not to get them. You know, but why don't you explain to us real quick the significance between the red and the yellow flags for those people home who don't know.
Minor penalties are signified by a yellow flag being thrown in the air by a referee, and it's 1 minute goes on the clock, and if you lose the point, if there's still time on that penalty, we just wipe that off the board. But those major penalties, as I've seen a lot of penalties in just both minors and majors. We've seen a lot of majors this particular event, and with the majors, it's a 2 minute major penalty. It's signified by a red flag being thrown in the air by a referee, and if you get a major penalty, you have to spend the entire 2 minutes in that box, regardless of whether or not you win or lose the point. It looks like we have the fourth member of our broadcast team, Lauren Kelly. She's down on the sidelines with the member of the TonTons.
Hey guys, down here on the sidelines with Saban Samuelson. Why did you guys call a timeout? You're 2 points down right now. What do you need to do?
The timeout was because we actually accidentally filled breakout paint in all our pods, so we were having a lot of gun issues.
All right.
That's what happened. We didn't need to change to the right paint.
Okay, and what's going to be your strategy going into this to get some points on the board?
Like everybody else said, stay alive, shoot more people than you get killed by yourself.
All right, we'll see if they can shoot more people than X Factor can. They're down 2 right now, 15 minutes on the board.
So here we go, X Factor trying to put another point on the board in this game, and the TonTons going to try to fight back. Pizon still in that box with 55 seconds to go on his penalty. Axel Godin, Franck, Samuelson, and Colombo taking the field for the TonTons, and it's Colombo doing a lot of work for them. 3 confirmed kills for Colombo. He had a great day yesterday.
Yeah, the more I get to watch these TonTon guys, the more I become fans of Franck and Colombo.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, and then, I'm waiting for, my Samuelson boys to come through and really start putting in some work over here. We saw them play really well, or we saw, Carl play pretty well the first event. I was really excited to see Saban come out here, but, I want to see both those guys get going.
Yeah, the Samuelson brothers, if they start clicking, they are virtually unstoppable. Carl Samuelson has had a breakout year for the TonTons, growing up in the Joy Division camp, coming out of Sweden, and now playing for the best team in Europe. The TonTons here. And good move by X Factor to get up there in the center. It's Dimitri Ninos. So Ninos up there trying to shut down the Dorito side of the field, but then also trying to drop a shot in on the snake. You can see him up there on your screen, dead center at the center 50 structure.
Yeah, I like the way Ninos plays too. You know, I mean, all of X Factor, you know, I've been watching them for a while now, and, you know, just waiting for them to play up to their potential, stay out of the box, and, you know, really start hitting hard as well. I like the additions they made. And, you know, with Bernaccia, Ninos, Wake, you know, they have the potential. You know, they just need to start executing, stop getting penalties. Billy Bernaccia and Grayson Goff over here on the snake side. They're looking at Franck in snake 3, who's trying to put the pinch on Ninos, still alive, but hugging the Dorito side of that A to protect himself. Pizone came out of the box, and he is locking off the Dorito side. Chambon and Colombo over here trying to work against Billy Bernaccia and Grayson Goff on the snake side.
Yeah, and Grayson Goff and Billy Bernaccia kind of stuck here in these bunkers, forced to battle out of them because of the good field position by number 7, Chambon Franck, who's in past the 50-yard line. Now Billy Bernaccia gets in, and we got ourselves a snake battle about to go down between Billy Bernaccia and Chambon Franck.
Yeah, Billy's got the ball.
And Billy's not going to stay there long. He's going to go get him as soon as possible.
Yeah, Billy Bernaccia is not scared. You know, Goff has got the body in.
Ooh, and I think, oh, and there's another major penalty on the Tauntauns. So Tauntauns are just really struggling with these penalties as Colombo is forced to come off. So
Colombo, man, he looks like he's had about enough of these penalties. He's just like, really?
God, I hope so.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to leave for a penalty?
You know, I've called his number out personally a lot this weekend. He's written down in my book here at least 3 or 4 times, just standing out this weekend for me personally.
Yeah, now I think that you'd be a fool if you didn't look at any of the Tauntaun games and really take note of how well that Colombo has been playing. But unfortunately for him, the team is really just getting a lot of penalties and not really clicking the way that they want to.
Yeah, you know, right now X Factor looking really good. 2-0, and good field position too, Maddie. Look across the field, they're at pretty much every 50, well, besides the snake, but that's not going to take too much longer either.
Yeah, I mean, with Grayson Goff in the snake, he doesn't have anybody in front of him, and also Ninos is still up there in that center trying to get a shot on the 2 players for the Tauntauns on that Dorito side. So with that major penalty, the Tauntauns are just trying to suck as much of that time off the clock as possible. 51 seconds to go on that penalty.
You know, and like you said, they got to stay out of the box. And but unfortunately for the guy in the box right now, when he comes out, he's going to have to deal with 3 players across the 50s, and that's never a good thing for sure.
Ninos trying to get a shot from that A. Grayson Goff comes across from snake 1 into snake 3, trying to get a shot. But Samuelson gets shot as Carl Samuelson gets shot as Grayson Goff makes his move. So only Axel and Sushi left alive over here for the Tauntauns. Sushi able to bump out to this corner. Axel, I believe, is in the, he's over there in the Dorito corner. There you see P-Zone, AKA Sushi, in the snake corner. There's Ninos. Yep, he's shooting at Axel there in the snake corner, and straight out of the box comes Franck, and he gets chopped up. At the same time, Axel gets shot out of that Dorito corner. So
yeah, not able to make it out. So it's looking like San Antonio X Factor is going to go up another point here.
Yeah, Sushi just got rolled up out of that corner right as the horn blew. So X Factor put another point on the board. We'll make it 3-0.
Yeah, so the score is hugely in X Factor's favor right now. That dreaded 3-point spread separates them and the Tauntauns. So with 10 minutes and 42 seconds left to go, we're going to be right back with more of this matchup.
sidelines with Ryan Brand, coach. You're pacing back and forth over here. What are you thinking? What's running through your mind?
What I've been doing right now is that looking at the penalty time, trying to figure out what we need to do to keep them in the box and when we need to kind of strategize around that. So it's going so far so good.
It is. They're 3 up. Let's see what happens.
And it looks like the TonTons struggling over here early on the Snake side of the field at this point as they lose. Franck trying to get into the Snake off the break. Oh, and a minor penalty now on X Factor. So they played clean all morning and then finally getting a penalty. Billy Bernacci, the last player left alive on this side. And it looks like Archie is the one who drew that penalty. And now here comes Colombo on the run through.
Great move by Colombo coming down and just sticking it to Billy Bernacci.
Colombo's like, I had enough of this. Here I come. Comes down and bunkers out Billy. I thought that was a good move. Thought the Billy picked him up just in time to trade out with him.
And now looking like it's a one-on-one.
Vulu in a one-on-one this time.
Grayson Golf.
So it's a huge point right here for the TonTons. They do have a chance with a little under 10 minutes to go. If Vulu is able to win this one-on-one, it'll be a 2-point match with totally enough time for the TonTons to get back into this game.
And right now, out of field position, Grayson Golf on the other side of the field. Not really out of position, but, I mean, the advantage has to go to Vulu right now. Oh, getting shot across the field in the goggles. Nice shot by Grayson Golf, though. I mean, very controlled play, getting down the field, playing nice and slow.
Yeah, Vulu had an opportunity and wasn't able to capitalize, and Grayson Goff just such a solid, consistent player for San Antonio X Factor. So the score is now 4-0. It's been all X Factor, and the TonTons struggling to even put one on the board. 9 minutes and 16 seconds to go. We'll be right back. And here we are looking in the TonTon pits, very calm and collected, though they're down 4. And
you know, Maddie, coming out here all this way, I mean, these guys travel a lot, spend a lot of money, but they're very committed to the PSP because this is the world's best league.
They want to prove themselves. The TonTons, it's an old school team. It's been around for well over 10 years. And with the TonTons and their current roster that they've assembled, with all of the best players from France and 2 of the best players in, they proved that they're the best players in Europe. But there's 2 Swedes on that team. It's a really European superstar team, and they want to come over here and bang with the big boys, man. They don't want to come over here and get relegated down. They want to win tournaments. They want to win championship tournaments.
On your screen right now, right side, you can see up the middle, Vulu going to work at that center A. I like that spot, you know, like I said, I like seeing people get up there, you know, but you got to get up there and let your team catch up with you. And here comes Axel Godin on the right side of your screen, all the way to the 40-yard Dorito. And there goes Billy Bernacci taking a walk, too, for X Factor, filling the Snake, though, behind him. That's Colombo going to work.
TonTons able to make that move up the middle, allows Axel Godin to get up into the Dorito 2 pretty quick once they shot Colt Roberts on the break, and then Niños kind of out there by himself in that center temple. Can't really hide from Axel Godin with no pressure from the wire. Rap shoots him, and then they get out Todd Morrow out of this snake side corner. So TonTons, after grabbing a couple penalties.
Oh, this is not good. Colombo is limping, and he has had, he looks like he might be hurt. That would be a huge loss to the TonTons. Hopefully for them, it's just a cramp or Oh no, he's getting helped off the field, so that's always a heartbreaker to see, especially when you have such a good event. So we'll hopefully get some information for you as to what occurred with this Colombo injury. Looks like it's his
right leg.
Yeah, right leg.
Maybe we have a replay on him diving in the snake. We can kind of catch and see what might have happened, hopefully. And very unfortunate. Look at Fabrice Colombo's stats for this tournament.
Yeah, so those are on the year, and yeah, he's studying 99% of the points. And that's, well, yeah, of course, man. He's a star for them, and hopefully he's okay, because he was not able to walk off. I mean, he was able to walk off, but not under his own power. He actually had to be helped out by the referee, as you saw there on your screen. So, the score 4-1, 8-12 left to go.
You know, still a lot of time left, you know, and San Antonio X Factor is known right now for this tournament for giving away the leads like this, you know, statistically throughout the weekend. TonTons Flingueurs also are known statistically for coming back from a deficit like this as well. So you kind of, let's see what happens. Look at this replay, diving in this snake. Oh, it just looks like he dug his knee in just a little bit hard going into snake one there, but still able to control himself and play paintball.
Well,
let's see.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely did like he dug his knee in right there pretty hard. So hopefully it's just some sort of a bruise. You know, sometimes when you catch your knee going in and you slam it in there on the ground, that's why when you dive, you want to make sure you try not to have your knees hit on those dives.
You just got to air out.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, you
like
got
Fedorov,
yeah.
you know, Air Moscow. Just get lifted.
Talk about Air France. And coming out strong right now, up the middle. Look at X Factor already losing one body. You saw on the break right there. That was number 79, Demetrius Ninos. And up the middle, you see on the center of your screen, just going to work. The TonTons Flingueurs.
Oh, major penalty on the TonTons is, I mean, we're frustrated for him up here. Todd is shaking his head right now. So the TonTons looking, though still they have a player all the way up in the center, number 25, the week below, is past the 50-yard line, and they have good position in the snake too. Let's see if they can capitalize on it here. There's 7 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. It's just having problems with penalties.
And how?
I mean, look at the TonTons player sitting right there in the middle on X Factor's side of the field.
And I have no idea how the X Factor player went from Dorito 1 to Dorito 2 without getting blown to pieces by that guy in the center of the field right there.
Yeah, that's Bryce Gaudin. He comes into snake 4 and he gets chopped up. And Archie Montemayor makes the move. And I think, yep, Vulu, he gets shot. Lucky not to draw a minor right there on his pack as Archie came out, ran up to the Dorito, shot him in the pack, and then ran back.
You know, and Archie does a lot of that a lot of times. I like watching Archie Montemayor play. He's so
got
versatile.
A great style, too.
He does, man. He really does.
He looks so good when he's playing out there.
And he's a super, super cool cat, too.
I really wish we could find a way to bring back the All-Star game, you know, because that, like, we took the best players in this league and put them in, you know, one game or like a 3-game series, you know, and everybody took it super serious and played super hard. That would probably be one of the sickest series ever.
Yeah, ever that we'd ever seen. So
there's so many.
Hey, we'll work on that.
Yeah.
We'll try to put that together. So the score now 5-1 here, and it's been all San Antonio X Factor. The story of this game, as it has been for many games for the TonTons, just too many penalties, and we're going to be right back here. Don't go anywhere.
A&S Gear rocks the largest inventory of any paintball retailer. From our massive selection of guns to our endless supply of goggles, paint, loaders, tanks, and apparel. With your choice of free shipping on orders over $100 to next day, Saturday, or international shipping options, you get the products you need sooner. Shop now at ansgear.com.
So welcome back here to 2013 PSP Chicago Open of Matty Marshall alongside Chris Lasoya and Todd Martinez. Next up, we have Moscow Red Legion going to be taking on Trenton Top Gun Union in the Challengers Division. Those two teams will be fighting in order to move back up into the Champions Division. It looks like we have Archie Montemayor, who we were just talking about, down with Lauren Kelly.
I am down here with Archie Montemayor from X Factor. What were you thinking during that last point when you saw TonTons were on your side of the field?
Well, actually, I didn't know. I just happened to be, well, Scott was our only guy on the D side, and I was in that snake side tower. And with them in the snake, as long as we're in the corner, he can't really do a whole lot of damage. So I knew my job was just to try to keep them out of the Dorito side since we had that side of the field. Then I was wrapping inside, and I could see him in our pin with his barrel. I actually shot him like 3 or 4 times on the front of his tip, but apparently the refs don't look for those hits. But anyways, I ended up moving into Texas, shooting him out. But we were lucky that they also got a major penalty in that point as well. So that kind of gave us a swing. And I guess they're still in the box, so we hopefully can finish this up while they're still in there.
All right, well, they're 4 up. We'll see what happens.
So getting back to the action on the field, 2 points away from victory here and preserving their spot in the Champions Division is San Antonio X Factor with 6 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Zach Wake gets a spin for X Factor and gets shot out early, as does Saban Samuelson for the TonTons and Alexander Pizon. Sushi taking the walk early.
You know, and we talk about getting spins. Sometimes it takes players, 2 or 3 spins to get in their groove, and sometimes, unfortunately, coming out cold just doesn't do anything for you, and you know, kind of taking a couple balls.
Bryce Godin all the way down in snake 3. Dixon Yang gets shot out of the snake tower, and Colt Roberts is standing up high in that 50 Dorito. Bryce Godin had a shot on him there, but now Colt Roberts able to stand up high and put paint back in on Bryce.
Yeah, good position right now for the TonTons. Try to put another point on the board. The issue is they just don't have a lot of time left to work with here.
You know, in a cross-field shot, you see Colt Roberts on the right-hand side of your screen going down the field to the Dorito, but getting clipped out, trying to make that bump. He shot actually the snake guy over here on the TonTons. That's Bryce Godin, Axel's brother.
And here now the move for the TonTons coming down the snake side of the field. Loic Voulot is going to take out Billy Bernaccia, so the TonTons looking like they're going to put a point on the board here as they had a couple bodies left alive. Carl Samuelson still over there on the snake side, real standout star for them in the first 2 events. Haven't seen as much from him in this event as we have in the past, because guys like Colombo and Franck have been stepping up, and Carl, one of the best players on that team, hanging that flag for him, going to score that 2nd point.
You know, and TonTons coming back, with 2 unanswered points. Still a 3-point deficit down to San Antonio X Factor right now. But they're now 5 strong again. So let's see how they do in a 5-on-5 game, and let's see if they can stay out of the box right now, Todd.
Yeah, I mean, it's been the story of the tournament for both these teams, and TonTons brought it here into the relegation game, and it's just killed them. You know, they just, I mean, the deficits that they've been trying to fight back from, just been terrible. Let's take a look down here at the TonTon pit. That looks like Bryce Godin right there. Voulou, number 25. But, I mean, it's not like these guys aren't working hard. They're just catching flags.
Why is it that every team that has the brother combo has like the 2-brother combo? Or the 3 brothers that are actually playing on royalty, the Vitalich brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said yesterday, they're all good, so we just call it the name, makes it easy. Like Carl and Saban, they've been playing together for years. But I like this TonTons team, and I only think that they're going to get better as the year progresses.
I think so too. I really think it's an issue of experience, and now they're having that experience of having to keep their mental tenacity and fight through all these penalties. But they've been winning over in Europe, so it always takes time to learn how to win. But they understand that this is a long play for them, and just staying committed and putting the time in and slowly work on your deficiencies. And I think just they don't really have personally like a lot of deficiencies. Technically speaking and talent-wise, the team should be able to contend with any team out here in this Champions Division. But can they put those runs of good play together? Can they get 5 guys to all connect and have a really stellar tournament? That remains to be the question with them. And you're just never going to win games if you're in the box half the time.
Yeah, unfortunately right now, taking the walk on the right-hand side of your screen, but getting up in the middle, going to that A is the TonTons Flingueurs.
Yep, Saban up there right now, locking down that side. And, I think he got Grayson. Nope. Grayson snuck up into the tower. But TonTons pushing the Dorito side. They're in Dorito 2. They're in the can on the Dorito side. They've got Voulou over here in the snake tower. Ninos gets another early exit. Colombo apparently all right, which is good to see. He comes walking off the snake side. So 2 bodies leave early Scott Kemp and Ninos. So Billy Bernaccia, Grayson Goff, and Archie Montemayor here in the Snake Tower.
Yeah, it's 3-on-3 on the field, 4 minutes to go. 5-2 is the score. And neither team has really good field position right now.
No, but I mean, look, I was just going to say, hopefully somebody gets in the snake, and here's the answer to my call. Number 25, Valut, getting in the snake, shooting Billy Bernaccia, but going to sleep on the corner on Archie Montemayor, and Archie Montemayor coming out here, filling on your screen and just blowing him to pieces.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen Archie do that. Just pulling games, giving his team life. But Grayson Goff dies off that other side, so Archie, I think, is looking at 2 bodies. Now he's got Saban still, and Axel, I believe, is still over in that Dorito 2. Oh, no, Axel is now... And that's not Axel Godin, but Saban's still there.
Spreading
at
the
the
field.
center A.
And that's going to do it for Archie Montemayor.
Oh, so Archie gets taken out by Saban Samuelson, making moves up on that Dorito side of the field.
Yeah, that was P-Zone. P-Zone spread the field out, came all the way back, and gave Saban some space to work with. Worked out Archie Montemayor.
So under 3 minutes to go. And do they have enough time? Well, they only have to score 2 points to tie it up, and they have 3 minutes. And X Factor's got to be real careful. You know, we're talking about how they didn't have enough time, but look what happens when you put a couple quick points on the board, and we'll break that down here for you as soon as we get back from these messages. All right, welcome back here. So Pizon had a really good point there, finally getting his reps, and that's what we've been waiting to see. To see him have that breakout game, that breakout point, and that's how you start earning your stripes out there and get more playing time. Because again, the TonTons, they're one of the teams that's the hardest of the hardcore as far as we just put the best 5 out there that we feel is playing at that given time. Everyone else, you sit. This particular event, we've seen a little bit more rotation as they brought Saban Samuelson over here for the first time in 2013 this season. But still, they don't carry a deep roster. They're not bringing 10, 11 guys over here and letting everybody get a lot of playing time. No, but so if Pizon wants to have more playing time, when he gets his opportunities, you got to make them count. Which is like yesterday we saw Nick Sloviak do that for Houston Heat.
Yeah, and you know, right now watching this game, there's the X Factor pit. You know, they got to be saying to each other, "Hey, not again here. You know, we got a big lead. You know, we got to close games." You know, that's been the problem over here. For X Factor all weekend. They get these big leads, and then they can't close games. You know, before it was penalties. Right now, they're just losing bodies early, and the TonTons are capitalizing on it. So you see Ryan Brand right there talking to Colt Roberts. He's sending Zach Wake out. Looks like Grayson Goff is going to be headed out. Here comes Archie again, of course. Get him on the field. Ninos, you know, he's gotten shot early the past couple games. Looks like he's walking on the field right now. So, you know, yep, Wake, Goff, Montemayor, Ninos, and Roberts for X Factor stepping on the field. I think we may get a timeout because, oh no, TonTons already took their timeout. Here they come.
You know, and what are you thinking right now? I mean, you're down by 2 points, 2 minutes and 54 seconds left. If I'm a TonTon, I want to get up in the middle and go back to work again. Get Colombo out here to the snake, send, you know, Saban up to the middle and just go to work. It's been working for him, but just stay out of the box as well.
Yeah, you got to know that X Factor is going to be looking for that right now too, though. You know, and Saban, you know, he's a big target coming up that middle. You know, but if he can run the right route, you know, and execute, you know, it's been working well for the TonTons.
All right, let's check in down with Lauren Kelly. Looks like she has one of the members of the X Factor crew.
I'm down here in the X Factor pit with Billy Bernaccia. You guys are up 2 points, 5-3, with a little under 3 minutes. Why'd you guys call that timeout?
We just needed to regroup. We're starting to play slower, and we're winning in the beginning, playing our aggressive play. We're getting down the snake. They're doing a really good job right now shutting me down, so I'm going to take a little break for a second and regroup. We just really got to work together and put the guys in and make the moves. We're up 2 points, so we just got to focus right now and keep playing our game. When we slow down is when we lose, so we need to keep playing our game.
All right, we'll see if they keep playing their game. It's 5-3 right now. We'll see what happens.
All right, 2 seconds to go before the start of the next point. Both teams at full strength. Let's see if X Factor, all they need to do is just suck a little bit more of this time off, and then that's going to do it.
Yep, Saban tries to go up the middle of the field. X Factor looked for it and roasted him. So that's one body down right off the get for the TonTons, but TonTons also shoot Colt Roberts on the break. But Niños able to keep his body alive right away, and he comes all the way into Snake 3.
Oh, so look at this matchup here on the Snake. About to go down. Oh, nice job, the TonTons.
Good job right there by, I think that's Colombo, of course.
That's Chambon Franck.
Oh,
have we seen Colombo out since his injury?
Yeah, he came back last point.
Okay, thank God for them.
But that was a huge, huge G right there on the Snake side of the field. Now, with almost both 50s, is TonTons Flingueurs.
Archie Montemayor trying to lock off the Dorito side.
Yeah, they got to score a quick one here. The TonTons don't have a lot of time. They still have to score 2 just to tie it up. The cool thing about Sunday's competition is that if there's a tie game, we head to overtime, and then if there's a tie after the overtime, the 3-minute overtime period, then we're going to see a one-on-one shootout.
Yeah, but P-Zone now attacking that Dorito side. He comes up into the tower to give some support to Carl Samuelson, who's in the Dorito too. But Archie Montemayor trying to lock off that side. There's 2 bodies over here. Oh, and looks like Grayson Goff gets shot out of that can. Nice. I think Franck actually got that shot at him from Snake 2.
Yeah, it was a great shot across the field. It's kind of a blind shot, but right there on your screen. So coming down the Dree side of the field now. Strong argument.
Ooh, lucky not to get pulled on that, Franck.
But they got to get going.
Bunker.
Maddie, you said it best. They got to get on their horse right now and get going.
They don't have a lot of time. Under a minute to go. They have to score 2 points. I mean, they look good in this particular point, but it doesn't matter. They're about to get relegated down. That's what's at stake, so they need to push forward. But the thing is that needs to come through the game plan, and you need to have that in your mind about a minute and a half ago.
Yep, and here comes Franck. He's going to get Wake. They're going to need to run the flag in, maybe give themselves about 37 seconds.
Well, it's going to be possible.
It is possible. I mean, because there's been, I think the fastest point is, I want to say 18 seconds.
Yeah, I think Heat scored, but they had that. They were on a power play.
Right.
So, you know, Heat was able to score like a very quick point yesterday. Definitely way under 37 seconds. It was 18 seconds.
Yeah.
But, you know, that was because they were looking at 4 bodies.
You know,
these teams are going to be 5 strong right now.
But I still think they're just going to, you know, shoot their guns and get up the middle, because you almost have to do a double A move, get in the Snake on the break maybe. But these guys, you know, look at the breakout comparison from this last game that made all the difference.
So you're looking at the TonTons break. I'm sorry, X Factor breaking out here. 3 bodies over to that Snake side of the field. And the TonTons had a much more aggressive breakout because of the timing. You know, that when you're X Factor, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and break out wide. And you don't need to take much ground. You just need to suck that time off. But let's see that move up the center, getting shot out, actually. So that was probably one of the reasons that the point was a little bit slower. But even though the TonTons had lost a body off the break, they still were able to push forward and take out the 5 players for X Factor and get it done to pull within 1. So the score is now 5-4, but only 37 seconds left to go.
You know, it is possible. I want to see, you know, a good aggressive game, because like you said, Maddie, if they lose this point, they're going to relegation, which means they're going to go back and have to fight their way up all the way back through the divisions just to make the World Cup.
Yeah, and that's not at all what the TonTons want to be faced with, and it's such a brutal division down in the Challengers League, as we still see good teams like San Antonio, or sorry, like Excessive still stuck down in the Challengers division, though they did win 2 games down there, and Moscow Red Legion looking pretty strong. And actually, that's who we have coming at you next, is Moscow Red Legion taking on Trenton Top Gun Union, and CEP taking on Royalty to see who is going to earn the right to play in the Champions League.
On your breakout right there, here comes the TonTons. Coming down the field strong. Look at this. Maddie, look at this right now. Hey, you got to be careful.
They're going for it, though. This is what you want to see, man. These are the funnest points to watch, is when the time is ticking down, the team is forced to push aggressively forward. 19 seconds to go. Do they have enough time and enough bodies? They're starting to get chopped up. X Factor doing a good job of absorbing the aggression from the TonTons, and I don't think they're going to be able to do it. So they lose all 5 players, and so San Antonio X Factor is going to put a 6th point on the board with just a half a second left as Dimitri Ninos hangs that flag up. He's going to get checked over, so congratulations to San Antonio X Factor, who preserved their spot here in the Champions Division. And the TonTons, unfortunately for them and all the fans over there watching in Europe, they're going to have to fight through the Challengers Division. So that's going to be, it's a tough fight down there. Very unfortunate turn of events for the TonTons. Again, they assembled that team to try to win tournaments, not to have to fight through the Challengers Division. But it's happened to really good teams. It just happened to the legendary Moscow Red Legion, who we're going to see coming up next.
You know, and like you said, fighting out of that relegation division is going to be hard for them. In the Riverside event, you know, and with that said, the Riverside event's coming up in August. You guys better get your spot now because everything is filling up here. There's so many people here in Chicago.
Oh, yeah, over 200 teams here at this event, and every event has sold out so far, so make sure you go to pspevents.com, get your team in the fight, and sign up early for the West Coast Open as the PSP makes its return to Los Angeles. So do not go anywhere. I can't wait to see this next game because Top Gun Union has some big players on that team. Steven Lasher, they also have Heyman Chapman, and a bunch of guys that have had a lot of pro experience, and they're playing against, you know, one of the most legendary teams in the game who's in a rebuilding stage. And it looks like we have Lauren Kelly on the sidelines with the winners, San Antonio X Factor.
I'm here with Cole Roberts from X Factor. Cole, that was a great match. It was 6-4. You guys won. During that last point, they had, you know, just over 30 seconds to try to tie it up. What was your strategy going in there?
Well, I was just trying to get out to this side and get the gun up across the center. They've been pushing the centers really well, so we tried to get a little bit wide, but fairly conservative. You know, high percentage spots, and then get our guns across because we knew where they're going to come. So
you actually got that point just with, you know, just over 30 seconds. What was running through your mind when you were on the box and the horn was about to sound?
Well, you knew they were going to come, and if they get a couple quick kills, it gets weird, and it did get weird. They shot 2 of us. I ended up getting to my spot and was able to catch guys cross field, but, you know, got lucky on those shots, and we're thankful for it.
All right, well, congratulations. You won that one. Next up, we have the Russians versus Royalty. We'll see what happens.